Hello, coaches. Welcome back to another episode of Coach Better Spotlight. My name is Kim Capino, and I've worked with hundreds of teachers, coaches, and leaders in schools around the world to help them create thriving and sustainable instructional coaching programs. And I'm on a mission to help you coach better. Wherever you are in your coaching journey, we can support you. Come learn with me in one of our courses or private mentoring packages designed specifically for instructional coaches. Join our global Coach Better community, ask any questions you'd like to hear us answer, and find all of our resources for instructional coaches on our website at coachbetter.tv. You can also find us on social media at Eduro Learning or at our Coach Better Facebook group, and subscribe to our channel here on YouTube to catch all of our latest videos. If you're not sure where to start, take our free quiz to get a tailored list of resources delivered straight to you and designed specifically for your level of coaching experience. Find it at coachbetter.tv/quiz. Today, I'm chatting with Jim Laney, head of school, and Sara Brodhead, director of teaching and learning at Kaohsiung American School in Taiwan. Sara has now moved on to KAS, while Jim, who is still head of school at Kaohsiung, is a repeat guest on the show. Check out his earlier episode, number 85, where we talk about how instructional coaching supports educators at all levels. I've been working with KAS for the last 2 years to support their brand new middle leadership team in developing their instructional leadership capacity and applying a coaching mindset to their work. In that time, KAS has also hired 2 new instructional coaches, and this conversation developed from our work together. In this spotlight, Jim, Sara, and I are talking about the importance of valuing adult learning through the practice of instructional coaching. It is always so wonderful to hear 2 senior leaders share their deep understanding of the role of instructional coaches in professional growth for all educators. On the full-length audio podcast, we also chat about the development of the new middle leadership and instructional coaching positions at KAS, the distinction between supervision and evaluation, and the professional growth that coaching can provide, their vision for the new instructional coaching roles, the structures they're putting in place to ensure coaching is successful and sustainable, measuring the impact of the work of coaches, and how we can help other school leaders and educators see the value of instructional coaching. This conversation highlights the huge impact an investment in teacher professional growth can have in our schools. If you're curious about how to articulate the value of coaching at the leadership level, this episode is for you. To listen to the full-length episode, subscribe to Coach Better wherever you get your podcasts. As you watch or listen to today's episode, you'll likely notice that many of the topics we talk about in this episode highlight elements of the Thrive model for sustainable instructional coaching that we follow in the Coach Certificate and Mentorship Program and all of our courses for instructional coaches. So if you are feeling like you are ready to start growing a thriving coaching culture in your school community, make sure to stay tuned to the end of the episode to hear more about how you can get started with the Thrive model based on your experience level. Okay, let's jump into the clip with Jim and Sara. One is, it's clear from our conversation today and from all of our prior conversations how much both of you as senior leaders believe in the impact and value of coaching. Not everybody feels that way off the bat. Are you, or how have you helped teachers in your community and potentially other school leaders in your community see the value of instructional coaching programs within your school community? And then how could we kind of extrapolate that out to how can others see the value of instructional coaching? Any thoughts in that area?
When we were talking about, the why behind coaches, and we were saying, well, we really value adult learning here as well, not just the student learning component of it. I mean, of course, like that's the, the ultimate, the main goal, of course, but, we really want to see our teachers as learners as well, growing in their profession. And this isn't just a stopover in their teaching journey. We know that we're an international school, lots of transition, but we want people to feel like they're leaving here, coming out as better instructional practitioners than when they came in. And so, we, as much as we love, the professional development opportunities from conferences, we're in the region part of the EARCOS, weekend workshops, having external consultants coming in or working with them online. or possibly even other educators, as we talked about earlier, principals, HODs, people want to see this growth in our school, but sometimes that, the relationship piece that you don't get from external consultants, the context of who our students are and what their needs are, doesn't come from external consultants. And we can take ideas and we can adapt them. But what if somebody is already alongside you, adapting, creating really this like bespoke learning opportunity for you as a teacher? And so that's something that we see the value in. Like, you have to value adult learning alongside student learning, and an understanding of, it's people in our school that are going to help uplift one another. It's part of the community building and the culture of learning from past experiences. I won't call them mistakes, but the past, and how we grow into the future.
And I think there are certainly opportunities for even master teachers to be learning. AI creates a lot of opportunity, a lot of anxiety, and I think if that can be part of the coaching repertoire, exploring some AI tools together and finding ways to save time doing these things so that we can focus on those things. I think people feel good about that. Somebody alongside, as Sara said, bespoke kind of training and learning and growing. I think that's going to be powerful. And I think many of our teachers have worked with ELL teachers or learning support teachers. I think seeing things happen in their classroom and improving in classroom, I think people will begin to see the value in that. And if they can hear a few success stories and understand that there's no threat to that person being in the room, then I think it's going to come along. Yeah.
That actually brought up a side question. I don't want to take us too much deeper into the conversation, but when you talk about seeing that there's no threat, I'm making an assumption, and I would confirm from both of you, your coaching will not be in any way tied to appraisal or evaluation or anything like that.
No.
Yeah.
No, we're even trying to make the conscious decision. Jim was talking about building offices, and he's not, not joking. So we're being very thoughtful right now. Where can we keep coaches so that they feel like they can talk to the people that they need to talk to, but teachers don't have to go by a principal's office in order to see the coach? We don't want to stick them in some sort of dark corner of the school. We want them to be visible, but we also want it to be confidential in a sense, at least until people can start to feel comfortable with the aspect of using a coach.
Yeah. Also a really good reason to not put them on the senior leadership team, although, I'd love to have more conversations with them on a regular basis around what they're seeing in classrooms, what's important for us to focus on, where are some real opportunities for growth. We'll have to find other ways to do that. We don't want the perception to be that we're meeting together and talking about teachers all the time, kind of thing. So I think making sure that people understand they have a very different role than supervisors do.
Before, when we were talking about structures that leaders can put into place to make this position successful, what you both just said about the positioning of the office and the optics of meeting, I know it's frustrating because obviously you want to talk about all the different things that are happening in the school, but when the coach is just always sitting in the principal's office or in the head of school's office, it doesn't look great. So you are really thinking about so many different dynamics. You're thinking about the structure of the school day. You're thinking about the physical structure of the building, you're thinking about the perceptions, and you're thinking about the why and the vision and the reason behind all of this. So I am super excited to see how this all builds out in your school community. Thanks for watching this clip with Jim and Sara. I hope you enjoyed this conversation. If you've been a longtime listener to the podcast or a subscriber here on YouTube, I'm sure you noticed many references to the themes that we talk about on the podcast all the time. It is so valuable to hear a leadership perspective on the distinction between heads of departments and coaches, the importance of separating growth from evaluation, and to get an inside look at how schools that are dedicated to growth develop sustainable practices for the implementation of coaching. If this episode resonated with you, please make sure to check out these other episodes that I've linked here on the YouTube video and in our show notes. This conversation is so important to have so that everyone in our communities can understand the purpose behind different roles and how they interact together. International schools, in particular, often struggle with copycat initiatives that don't really demonstrate a depth of understanding in the purpose behind the implementation. We may find ourselves in situations where schools have hired coaches without truly understanding the role, so they're tasked with non-coaching duties, or where professional growth programs have been implemented without understanding that they can't just replace evaluation, or where middle leaders with full-time job responsibilities have been given the extra task of coaching their team. It's important for those of us invested in instructional coaching to really understand the nuanced conversations that need to happen to help our school communities move forward. This is why I started all of our courses for coaches. Each of our global cohorts create intentional time and space for instructional coaches around the world to get together and actually talk about the realities of their experience and how we can start these very complex conversations in our individual school settings. We offer 3 global cohorts a year, all tailored to your specific experience level. Each of our global cohorts will help you take the next step in your coaching journey, either as a brand new or aspiring coach in getting started as an instructional coach, or as a current coach or educator ready to implement instructional coaching in their school setting in the Coach Certificate and Mentorship Program, or as a coach who's ready to lead in our course Coaches as Leaders. Find all the details about all of our courses at COACHBETTER.tv/learn. Global cohorts open once a year. Find all the details for all of our courses at COACHBETTER.tv/learn. And if you're not sure which course is right for you, watch one of our free workshops for instructional coaches designed for your experience level so you can take the next step in your learning right now and uncover which course is right for you next. Find it all at COACHBETTER.tv/learn. Wherever you are in your coaching journey, we can support you. If you're curious right now, if you have questions, please reach out. You can leave a comment on this episode or on our show notes at COACHBETTER.tv. You can join our Coach Better Facebook group, or you can find us on social media at Eduro Learning and send me a DM. I'd love to support you on your coaching journey. See you next time.